Hey, everybody, welcome back to Off the Wall. I'm Mike.
And I'm Sol.
So, trailer for a documentary of sorts that's coming to, I'm calling it HBO Max. I'm not calling it just Max. That's dumb. Is coming about DC Comics, or DC, because DC stands for Detective Comics. So just DC.
Chai tea.
Yeah,
tea.
ATM machine. I love DC. I'm a DC guy. Look, I'm always down for more DC goodness, especially in this crazy world, crazy post-Flash world we live in now. So you're the one who found this. So you ready to watch it?
I'm ready to watch it. I need my DC guy to react with me.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm here. Let's see what we got.
Heroism is just very simple. Anytime somebody uses courage when they're afraid, in the name of something good.
Here's my boy.
It's stories about hope, about redemption. It's the same themes that have been underlying our folk tales since the beginning of time.
Ooh, Black Adam.
Throughout history, there have been mythic characters that we told stories about. Superheroes are what they are now, and DC is the grand proscenium of superheroes.
It is impossible to think about this in this way today, but back then, no one had ever seen anything quite like that.
What if I could be a hero? Something tells us to fight for what's right. That's really the power. That's really being super.
I don't think anybody thought we're going to turn this into the most profound discussion of race in the superhero movie.
I haven't watched The Watchmen yet.
It was the physical
good
empowerment at the right cultural moment.
Jim Lee.
There were comic book burnings across America.
The code and the persecution of comics make the people who were producing the comics feel oppressed.
It was a creative stranglehold. Women should not be featured in prominent roles.
People were afraid. They really would.
He would find an image and somehow map a ton of homosexual overtones to that.
Yeah.
In the case of Wonder Woman, maybe not entirely untrue.
When I first read Watchmen, it was
such a good comic.
All of us need to go back to being kids and believe that we can do the right thing.
It's reflecting who we are today.
Superheroes, supervillains, anti-heroes. There's a DC character for every person in the world.
We can't be stuck in the past. We have to take those characters and move them into the 21st century and go, well, what's cutting edge now?
Comics are an incredible medium. You can tell impactful stories about anything. What you need is the courage to tell them.
Like, we're not saying anything. We were just like,
I know. I'm into this. Yeah.
It's just like, yes, that is what comics are like.
Everything they're saying is 1,000% true. I can't wait to watch this. This looks excellent. There have been some fantastic documentaries made about comic books in the last few years, and they've clearly got some guy. I mean, it's wonderful that Jim Lee is in this new role as the head of DC Comics. Like the head of DC Comics, getting James Gunn involved in there, as well as a few other writers and publishers and artists. I mean, yeah, there's a lot to break down, specifically with DC Comics. Some of the things DC Comics did that no other comics, that not even Marvel was doing at the time, especially because of the Comics Code Authority when they were around, is truly great. There's so many great writers that I wish that were still alive. They could have got, like Denny O'Neil, actually passed away a couple of years ago. Because of what Denny O'Neil did with the concept of like drug addiction and addressing that in DC Comics with Green Arrow and Speedy. There's a lot of stuff with that we're not going to get to hear their take on it because they've sadly passed away in the last few years. But I'm really interested to see who all is involved in this, alongside, like, obviously, like James Gunn, Patty Jenkins, Jim Lee, but and the guys who we saw, but everyone else who's involved as well, who's still around that can shed light on it. Because there are some people who've done stuff for DC over the years that you might not know did stuff for DC, and to hear their story on it and their contributions will be really interesting.
And one thing that, even go check out our Secret Wars or Secret Invasion, sorry,
Yeah.
review, but we were just speaking about how comics in general, and this is both DC, Marvel, and even like Image Comics and other comics out there, really do speak to real world events and have been allegories for so many things that have happened in the real world. And the speaking on that a little bit in this trailer for this documentary, and it's just like, yeah, that is what comics are. It's bringing something that is real and putting it in a fantastical element that people can read about it and learn about it and change their minds about things. And I love it.
Yeah. I mean, Wonder Woman, the character specifically, I mean, the guy who created Wonder Woman was big into like bondage and BDSM, which is part of the reason why she has a lasso. Like women in comics was a weird time. It was a weird time for not only to be a woman. I mean, there were no women making comics, but just to have a female character in a comic at all. They were, you want to talk about Bechtel test stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
there was no Wonder Woman. The existence of Wonder Woman, it was groundbreaking enough on its own, let alone everything that's come since then. To now, one of the highest selling comic books right now is DC's John Kent Superman, which is Superman's son, who's gay.
Yeah.
And so it'll be interesting to see, because we saw screen grabs of those comics in this trailer. So obviously it's going to be talked about. It'd be weird if they didn't. I'll be really interested in July 20th is not far away. So I'm looking forward to watching this.
Yeah. It'll be a good thing on HBO Max.
Yeah. HBO Max.
I just wish it was still purple.
The purple was great, and cutting the HBO off made no sense. Just it was
friggin' Discovery.
Anyway, so let us know what you guys think about this. Are you a DC person? Are you interested in watching this? What are some stories from DC history you're hoping that they'll cover? Let us know down below in the comments, and we'll see you guys again next time on Off the Wall. Bye.